Yuma Galambang, Dawara Nuna, Dawara Nonowo. Sovereignty was never ceded. It is with the permission and guidance of Aunty Carolyn Hughes that I acknowledge this land in its language, Ngunnawal, because this place and its people possess valid ways of knowing, being and doing that are intrinsically linked to country and should be celebrated and centred in all we do here. Understanding the strengths, reciprocity and beautiful relationships between country, culture and community is ever present in the practices taught to me by family, elders and the community that surround me. As a proud Kalari Wiradjuri young woman, valuing these ways of knowing, valuing country and valuing the stewardship and resilience of First Nations communities is intrinsic to everything I do. Woven throughout my earliest memories are experiences of being encouraged to sit with Yinjamali, centre myself, and take in how country and community is speaking, and how we need to listen and be guided by that. From a young age, I remember hearing stories of my family and mob's resilience and strength, the way they overcame adversity, the wisdom they possessed, and the love and cheekiness they always shared. I remember being encouraged to sit in community meetings, to listen quietly and respectfully to elders and community speaking, their different voices, their different tones, and their different words ringing out, but always coming together with messages of love, care, and protection. Protecting community, protecting country, protecting family. To be strong and kind, and to do what you can. I also remember how after big summer rains, we would always head out onto country to some of Dad's favourite spots on the waterways, seeking out that sweet and bitter smell of old man weed. Searching the banks and carefully checking the plants for those sticky leaves and powdery flowers that sat close to the stem. And how finding the right plant always felt like such an achievement. And how we would collect a little bit to be able to take back to community as medicine for mob that need it. These experiences have never left me. And no matter what, I know I belong and have a role in community's continued practices, knowledge, and action for healthy country and healthy people over time and space. For me, it is a powerful way of knowing and doing. It is just, it is inclusive, and it is about sustainable outcomes where all can thrive and flourish. I was always raised to ask country before taking anything, and to never take anything without a genuine need for it. I was taught to never take too much and always leave some behind. And before collecting leaves, to ask, Yamadu Gariwa Galang Dore Darai, and treat country with respect. Taking anything from country always comes with a question, an apology, and a thanks. The earliest colonial descriptions of country note a thriving and managed landscape. Under First Nations stewardship, country was actively managed for the best possible outcomes. Fire and floods were known to regenerate the landscape and promote healthy growth. Our waterways, the lifeblood of country, we worked with them. Not in a way of demand, but in a relationship of deep understanding. Our agriculture only took what could be sustained, and floods were known as country's way of replenishing itself. And we didn't fear fire. Not like the fires we saw that devastated our country in the summer of 2019 and 2020. Fire was known as a partner in land management that's use sustained and supported all living things. So I think we really need to ask ourselves, why? Why has there been resistance to centering First Nations ways, First Nations practices, and First Nations knowledge? With the devastating impacts of climate change, environmental degradation, and our alarming extinction rates, it is clear that this is a path we cannot continue down. We can't keep doing things the same way. We need to be innovative. And I think now, more than ever, we need to be looking at First Nations solutions which can hold powerful solutions for the issues and challenges we face in our communities and environment. Because it is legitimate, it's time-tested, and it's suited to the Australian landscape. With community, educators, leaders, and legislators with courage, we can change our unsustainable practices to methods that value country's inherent right to heal and be optimal. We can enshrine First Nations ways of thinking and doing that are intrinsically linked to place and focused on the best possible outcomes for country, with giving our country and waterways the legal right to be protected and cared for as a living being. Viewing country as a living being changes the way we engage. Valuing country means adapting our land management practices to be in line with First Nations ways of doing. It means valuing First Nations' intrinsic knowledge of space and having actions that are focused on the best possible solutions and outcomes for country and community. But if we are to achieve anything, we need to understand that we all have a role to play in challenging injustice and maintaining hope for country's restoration, because a healthy country is the only way to have healthy people and a place where all can thrive and flourish. Janya Maba.